7 o'clock. Okay. This regular meeting of the City Council of Oak Park is called to order. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. City Clerk Ed Norris, please call the roll.
Mayor McClellan,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Here.
Councilmember Speech, Councilmember Radner,
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Okay. Mr. City Clerk, would you note for the record that that is an illness to absence due to illness. Next, we need an approval of the agenda.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have the consent agenda. This is a series of items that are routine, that we approve as a group, as a single item without discussion. Any council member can ask to have one of the items removed from this list. Item 5A, regular council meeting minutes of December 19th, 2016. B, request to cancel the regularly scheduled Zoning Board of Appeals meeting of January 27th. C, request to cancel the Planning Commission meeting of January 9th. D, Planning Commission meeting minutes of October 10th and November 14th. E, Recycle and Environmental Commission meeting minutes of October 20th. F, Corridor Improvement Authority Board meeting minutes of October 20th. G, proposed change order number 1 in the amount of a $28,029.11 credit, and payment application number 4 in the amount of $226,197.59 to Mattioli Cement Company, LLC, for the 2016 sidewalk replacement project M627. H, proposed change order number 1 in the amount of $80,688.50 credit, and payment application number 3 in the amount of $12,128.41 to Proline Paving Corporation for the Scotia Resurfacing Project M642. I, request to schedule a public hearing for February 6, 2017 to consider the adoption of revisions to the Corridor Improvement Authority development and tax increment plans. J, licenses, new and renewals is submitted for January 3rd, 2017. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda passed. We don't have elected officials here tonight or special recognitions. We are down to item 11, accounting reports. We need approval for payment of an invoice submitted by Seacrest, Wardle, Lynch, Hampton, Truex, and Morley for legal services in the amount of $10,962.34.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any discussion or questions?
You know, Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Radner.
I just can't stress enough the importance of making sure that your lawyers are paid timely, that's all.
Thank you. City Clerk Ed Norris, please call the roll.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes,
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
motion carried. Item 13 is ordinances. This is first reading of an ordinance to amend the Jefferson Oaks payment in lieu of taxes pilot ordinance. We have our Kim Maroney is here to explain this one.
Good evening, council members. We have the pilot ordinance amendment that we are presenting to council tonight. It was brought to you over a year ago for the Jefferson Oaks project. Once MSHDA got the copy of the ordinance, they did require a few minor changes, and our city attorneys have also reviewed it and made those minor changes for us. We also have CJ Felton in the audience here who can answer any questions as to why that needed to be done.
Sure. We invite CJ Felton up.
And he's with Community Housing Network.
Good
Happy
evening
New
and
Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Good to see you all again. Are there any questions on why this was necessary?
Just explain in easy words why.
The primary problem that MSHDA had was in the preamble, they're acknowledging that the sponsor, which is essentially Community Housing Network, had offered subject to the receipt of a mortgage loan, which was not the financing vehicle that was being used for this. It's housing tax credits. So when MSHDA got this back, they specifically asked that language be changed. And then I believe as we did a little bit of back and forth, the city attorney had just some other housekeeping matters to clean up.
So it doesn't really impact the project.
It doesn't impact the project at all. It's just getting the language right, so the State Housing Development Authority is satisfied and we can proceed to closing on the tax credit financing.
Any questions?
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
The proposed change here, would, in lieu of having an ad valorem property tax, we would have an annual service charge. How is that annual service charge determined?
It's based on percentage of gross rent less any payments that are collected for utilities. In this case, it's 10% of the net rents over the life of the financing, which will be, it's a 15-year affordability term on this. You'll notice, I think there's a change here. Originally, it was set at 18 years, and then that language was changed to the term of the tax credit financing.
Notice, though, in old paragraph E, new paragraph small f, it still has the 18 years.
I believe,
It says the minimum annual service charge to be paid for years 1 through 18.
let me look through. I believe that was stricken from here.
Still in there.
This is the copy that I got from your website, which I think should be in the packet.
It could be an issue with, the attorney's made some last-minute revisions. You may not have received the final revision.
And I'm a
We'll make sure the final copy has 15, though.
And the 10% is in which paragraph? I'm having a hard time finding it here. I found it.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right. So it's going to be the 10%, but you've changed that from 18 years to 10 years, is that correct?
13.
15.
18 to 15 years. So what we're asking to vote on today has 15 years in sub-paragraph F.
well, it's actually, yeah, it is actually 18 years. But we need, obviously, we've got development time involved here. The project won't probably go into service at this point until, I would estimate, probably be fully leased by spring of 2018. So about 15 months, 16 months from now.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Okay, we ready for a vote? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried. City Attorney, have anything to add?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager Eric Tungate, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. I'd like to call Director Kim Maroney to the podium to discuss the request for approval to distribute the draft City of Oak Park Master Plan.
We have a brief presentation that we wanted to present to council. Council members should have all received in their mailboxes a few weeks ago our draft copy of the master plan, which we will be making public. It's on our website right now, and we have copies available for anybody who would like to view it at our City Hall offices as well as our community service building as well. So Benny, if you can pull up that presentation.
Kim,
We- yep.
just to interject, if you could explain to our community why this process was necessary before you do your presentation, that would be great.
Yeah, the last master plan that was done in the city of Oak Park was done in 1996. State law does require that it is revised every 5 years, so we are a little overdue in doing that. It also helps us to apply for grants that we currently sometimes do not qualify for because it does require having an updated master plan. So that was one of the main drivers of this, as well as becoming a redevelopment-ready certified community, which is something we're striving towards getting that certification, because that will open up the city to be able to apply for additional grants that are available now through the state of Michigan that we weren't previously able to apply for. So that's the main reason driving the master plan. We began working on it over a year ago with doing community surveys, town hall meetings, workshops with our community members and business members in Oak Park, and from that we came up with our new draft plan. Why is it? Sorry, I don't know why it's not advancing. There we go. So the main reason you do a master plan is to help us with our decision-making processes when we're looking at site plans and any other decisions we're making in the city moving forward. It helps us to make those informed decisions. It helps us to achieve predictability, use our resources wisely within the community, preserve all of our community character, and produce positive economic development, as well as identify and recommend any physical improvements within the city. The contents of the master plan you'll see on the screen there. I'm not going to cover all of them. I'm only going to highlight a few of them. Those are the complete streets, the vision statement, goals and implementation, future land use, and priority development sites. The complete streets is something new in our master plan that was not in there before. It's a requirement for being a redevelopment-ready community and something fairly new. It was not even in existence in 1996. So Complete Streets looks at your streets and any changes that you make to them to make sure you're including all modes of transportation, not just vehicles. So that includes your bike lanes, any walkability, on-street parking, any of our non-motorized transit planning. We need to come up with a new non-motorized plan for the city that we're hoping to do by the end of the year as well, and improving any of the bus stops that we have within our community. The vision statement that we came up with, we tried to keep in line with our new branding of community, culture, and commerce. So our new vision statement is, the vision of this master plan is to strengthen community by providing the highest possible quality of life and becoming a regional leader in rebuilding the urban environment and public realm, to enhance culture by providing the highest quality programs and services while encouraging collaboration among community members and maintaining the city's unique cultural diversity, and to stimulate commerce by encouraging business growth and innovation while establishing a vibrant city center and thriving activity nodes, and ultimately maximizing Oak Park's competitiveness in the region. So hit a lot of topics in that vision statement. We also did our goals and implementation around those same 3 items, the community, culture, and commerce. In community, I'm just pulling a few of the goals out that we wanted to highlight. The picture you see there is a picture of what a parklet might be if we were to close down some streets. This is what we envision along 9 Mile Road to help us create that sense of place that we are striving to achieve and create those unique public spaces that we lack right now. We want to expand our housing options. We have great single-family housing in the community, but we don't have a big variety, and the Community Housing Network project is one of those types of new developments that we're trying to get. Enhancing our pedestrian scaled streets to foster a safe environment for all modes of transportation, and improve our park facilities and recreational programming. In the realm of culture, we want to increase all of our civic engagement, maintain the excellent city services that we still offer today, and improve our environmental sustainability. And the picture on the right is a picture of a rain garden. In the area of commerce, the pictures you see are one of our people that used our facade improvement program, and the before and after pictures. So we want to create that vibrant commercial corridor, attract the high-quality, diverse restaurants that we don't have today, ensure that we're providing streamlined business processes and building permit processes. We want to revise and improve our commercial parking zoning regulations, as well as our municipal parking options, update our maps, zoning, and ordinances, improve the commercial corridor's visual appearance to help spur that economic development, redevelop the blighted buildings and underutilized buildings, improve rental properties, and provide resources to entrepreneurs and businesses, and improve the industrial areas. Under future land use, we put in the plan what the land use is currently in the city, and then we've identified some changes that we wanted to make in our future land use plan so that we can capitalize on redeveloping some of the buildings that are underutilized today. We want to incorporate a new land use that we currently don't have in our zoning, and that's a mixed use, which allows us to use a multiple variety of uses on one site. Most communities you see nowadays do allow for that type of development, and we don't as of yet, but we definitely want to make sure we're including that moving forward. We do want to make a slight change to Lessinger Park. We're taking a chunk of that out and incorporating that back into the industrial area. And then in return for that, we would get improvements to the park that's there so that we can get more people using it in a better manner. We want to create pocket parks, and we've incorporated a few in the future land use map. You'll see those along 9 Mile and Coolidge. We want to do a local street realignment, which we've already talked about in our 9 Mile redesign plan, which is doing the street diet. And we've proposed some off-street parking, and the picture you see here is how we would do that on some of our commercial corridors on 9 Mile and Coolidge that create that walkable area that you can put some public amenities in and then still have the parking out front. And then doing some street closures so we can do some of those pocket parks as well. Some of the priority development sites that we wanted to highlight moving forward are still the Armory property. We have some available land on 8 Mile and Greenfield that we want to make sure we're highlighting that. The entire 11 Mile corridor has a lot of opportunity. Lincoln Center, where the old Kmart was. The 8 Mile corridor, we have just a hodgepodge of uses along the 8 Mile corridor, and it can be better realigned to attract some new investment. The 9 Mile and Coolidge commercial area, and the city center at 9 and Coolidge. And we also have some vacant green belt along Coolidge that we did put out for an RFP that we're still keeping open. And then the Southeast Industrial District, which is off of Coolidge between 8 and 9 Mile east of Coolidge. We want to make sure that we make improvements to that as well. Moving forward with the plan, we are having a town hall meeting open to the public on January 31st here at City Hall between 5 and 7. So we encourage anybody in the community to come and attend that. We'll do a brief presentation on what the plan is about and receive any comments and suggestions for it if we need to make revisions moving forward. Once we put this out for public notice, we have to wait a 63-day waiting period before we can bring it back to our Planning Commission to ask them to approve any changes and the final draft. And we're planning to do that at the March Planning Commission meeting. City Council received in their mailboxes a revised schedule today. So on March 13th is when we're going back to the Planning Commission, and then it'll come back to City Council to receive the adopted master plan on March 20th.
City Manager Tungate has a question.
Yeah, Director Maroney, a couple things. In the timeline, thank you for going over that. I wanted to just specify that we're going to provide this timeline on our website, I hope.
Yes, yes, that and the master plan is available for review on the website.
So there's plenty of opportunities for the public to get involved. And the second thing is, I believe council members have all received the draft,
Correct.
previous draft.
Yep.
And you may notice in there, and please speak to this, that there were a lot of aesthetic changes. The content is the same, virtually the same. There were a lot of aesthetic changes, grammatical changes, things like that. The improved version is the one that we're going to be sending on, correct?
The one that we'll bring to the Planning Commission in March will be the final version. We're just going to make some minor adjustments to the look of it, but the content will remain the same, like Eric said.
But the one that we're sending, because you've got here January 4th, the one that we're sending on January 4th will be the improvements thus far.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, but expect more changes between now and March.
Any further questions from council members? No? Thank you so much. This was an enormous job.
Yes, I would like to thank a few people. Our planner, Kevin Rolkowski, Crystal McLean, the assistant to the city manager, Elizabeth King, who was also in the city manager's office, and Nathan Isidoric, who is with our rental inspection department.
And Kim, I'd like to thank you for guiding this whole process. This is an enormous task, as the mayor said, and we couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And I think doing it in-house saved the city tens of thousands of dollars.
Roughly about $100,000.
And so we appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Now we need to a vote to accept the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approve distribution of the draft master plan.
So
Yes.
moved.
And then the second.
Support.
That's it. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, members of council, 15B, Director Stasiak is not here tonight, but we do have Mary Lee from the Recreation Department. Mary Lee, if you could walk us through the request to increase the participant fees for total body workout from $1 per class to $2 per class, and the yoga from $2 per class to $4 per class, and that would be effective in January.
Correct. Good evening, Mayor McClellan, Mayor Pro Tem Burns, council members, and thank you, City Manager Tungate. As you said, Director Stasiak is on her way back from visiting family, so I said I'd step in. We did send the memo to increase those fees from $1 to $2 for total body workout, and then from $2 to $4 for basic hatha yoga. Doing that will cover the cost of the instructor and the administration fees. As we were paying our instructors, the shortfall kind of came to our attention. We wanted to rectify this as soon as possible and would prefer not to wait to the fee schedule meeting that's going to happen in July of 2017.
Wise. Did you look at other cities and what they're charging?
We're on the low end.
I happen to know that taking a class in, say, Birmingham is $15 a class.
We are going to be...
So to me, this is the bargain of the century. Come take these classes, Monday and Wednesday, 10:30. Come and exercise with us.
Madam Mayor, if I could. One thing, council members, I wanted to just remind you that the effort that, in terms of changing this fee, is not meant to make money on it, obviously. It is to offset our costs, and I think we feel pretty comfortable here that this will do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you count up the participants and what they're paying, it doesn't pay for the instructor.
Exactly. That's
And
why
so
we
it
are
makes-
proposing that increase.
So it's a loss. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, we need approval of this motion to request an increase of the participant fees.
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Yep. Any discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carried.
Madam Mayor, members of council, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Okay, next we have call to audience. You are welcome to come up. Please give us your name and address very clearly for the record. And there's a 3-minute time limit.
Here I am again, Joyce Bannon, 10611 Troy. I'm going to sound like a broken record. Your planning commission, having everything on the internet, there are citizens in the city who do not have a computer and do not get out of their house to come up here or to go to the library or anything else. And so I don't know if that's going to be in the new newsletter. And with this winter coming up, who knows what the weather's going to be, even if they could walk. Right now they could, but after tonight, I don't know. So that's my concern. I know I sound like a broken record there. Then the other problem that I have, and this is the first reading of the ordinance for Jefferson Oaks. I know I mentioned it last time that this was brought up about the taxes, that they only pay taxes according to their income. I worked in property management for 15 years. I don't remember how many units they got over there, but if they have 10 units that do not pay rent for 3 and 4 months before they can evict them and then clean it out and get somebody else in there, you're talking 6 months without rent. And meanwhile, the city goes without taxes for that amount of money. I'm not given that kind of a break as a taxpayer. So I'm really at a loss as to why we would give them just paying taxes on their income only. This is property. I'm paying taxes on my property. In the management company I worked for, didn't matter how many people paid rent. They paid taxes for the property. So that's my complaint. And it's the first reading, so maybe it can be rectified. Thank you.
Thank you. Should we have CJ answer here? Okay. Anybody else? It's a quick one today. We're setting a world's record, I think. Call to council. Just would like to invite all of you to our Winterfest. It's the last Sunday in January, January 29th from 1 to 4. It's free, and it's fun family entertainment with animals and rides and free treats. And get there early before they're gone, because it's a fabulous deal, and it's beautifully run by our department. And if you have grandchildren or kids, bring them on. It's a wonderful event. Please come. January 31st from 5 to 7 is that meeting that Kim Maroney mentioned. Please come to that and give us your 2 cents worth. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, everybody safe, healthy, happy New Year wishes from the City of Oak Park. Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. Please be safe and have a happy belated holiday and New Year.
Thank you. Councilmember Radner.
Thank you all for coming out. Have a wonderful evening.
Councilmember Ridge.
Thank you for coming. Have a good night.
Wow, we did. I think we set a short meeting record. There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming.